Since there are so many people with blood sugar issues, pre-diabetic, diabetics, and people with insulin resistance, I wanted to cover this very important video on apple cider vinegar. If you're not doing apple cider vinegar, you definitely want to consider adding that to what you eat, even if you're not doing keto or intermittent fasting. There are other things that can improve your blood sugars that go beyond just lowering your carb and fasting. Apparently, the acetic acid in apple cider vinegar gives a very potent anti-glycemic effect, even if you're not doing keto. So in other words, it can help buffer the food that you eat to bring things lower on the glycemic index and help stabilize both blood sugars and insulin. When you add vinegar to your rice, let's say you're going to do sushi, right? Which I'm not recommending eating rice, but if you do, you will drop the glycemic index of that rice by 35%, which is fascinating. If you add vinegar to your cooked potato while it cools down, maybe on a salad or something, you will reduce the glycemic index of that potato by 43%. If you add vinegar to your bread, let's say you eat some white bread, you'll create a significant decrease in blood sugars and insulin. Again, I'm not recommending this, but I mean, this is fascinating. If you add vinegar to like eating cereal bar, of course, you're not going to put vinegar on your cereal bar, but let's say you had vinegar tablets, for example, you could probably add that. Or orange juice, you can drop your blood sugars and insulin. And then there was a couple interesting studies. One was consuming vinegar with sandwich. I think it was actually in capsules, vinegar capsules, decreased the glycemic index by 30%. And then if you're going to eat a salad, whether you add like balsamic vinaigrette or apple cider vinegar as a part of your salad dressing, you can decrease the glycemic index by 31%. So that is actually interesting. That goes beyond just lowering your carbs and fasting. And anytime you lower your glucose, you're going to decrease insulin, which you're automatically going to reduce fat on your liver. You're going to lose some weight, maybe not a lot, but by lowering your blood sugars, you will contribute to weight loss. You will also reduce your hunger. Why? Because there's less insulin. And also you're going to have less cravings. If you have a history of insulin resistance, okay, and have what's called the dawn phenomenon, which your blood sugars are high, even though you did not consume a lot of carbs the day before. And that is because the liver is making a lot more sugar. Okay, it's called gluconeogenesis. And so people always want to know how to lower the blood sugar in the morning, especially. Well, very simply, you take 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before bed. And I wouldn't take it just straight. I would put it in water. I'd put it in 8 to 10 ounces of water. And so 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar equal 10 grams. And I would take this before bed, because what's going to happen is you're going to wake up and your blood sugars are going to start to go lower and lower and lower. And the other thing I'm going to recommend is start taking apple cider vinegar before your meal. Again, in about 8 to 12 ounces of water. And of course, you're drinking something very, very acidic. So even though it's diluted in the water, you want to drink it through a straw so this apple cider vinegar is not exposed too much to your teeth. Now, there are other things that it can also buffer your meal as far as reducing the effect of this blood sugar situation. We just talked about vinegar, but you can also add fat and fiber to help lower this spike in blood sugar.